I welcome back to the Revelator show of this only Dorothy.
Hello,
how are you?
I am good. We are actually, as we speak, heading to, I want to say Raleigh.
All right, yeah. Have you played there before, or is it the first time you're playing there?
I've played in North Carolina Hailstorm, yes.
Awesome, very cool. There's a lot to talk about with you, including the hailstorm factor. But last time you were on, a year ago, you guys were coming to Nashville, played the High. Talked about your favorite Saturday Night Live skits. We talked about Nutella and how people offer you Nutella everywhere you go because of the video Dark Nights. We got into I don't know, life on the ring, tour bus, all that stuff. Do you still have you changed your philosophy or your mentality as far as touring is concerned? You kind of got it now that you've done it a bunch?
You know, everything has changed in my life over the past few months. Literally the way I look at music, the way I look at why I'm doing what I'm doing has changed completely. So touring has become, it's really great, really fun. It's very eye-opening, and we make sure to stay really healthy on the road. We treat this like this is our life's work, and so I'm just very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Well, you're great at it, and I've enjoyed you for time as a person and also as a musician. And the new album, which we'll talk about in a moment, is fantastic. But I remember when you first announced this tour earlier this year, or the back end of last year. I posted a photo of you on Facebook or Twitter, one of those, and I'm looking forward to you coming back to Nashville. Can't wait to see you live again, right? And some D-bag made a comment about the way you looked on there. I'm like, I think she looks fantastic. It was a really cool black shot, and you had actually commented on him as well about, I told him, shaming anyone for their appearance is absolutely uncalled for. Is that something it's hard for you to deal with, that you're more in the spotlight and people are seeing more of you, whether on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook? Is it hard to refrain from making people make negative comments like that?
No, not really. I don't read the negatives. And on my Instagram, I get nothing but positive comments. And, if someone has something negative to say, it really has nothing to do with it, and that they're probably having a bad day.
Right. Yeah, they're definitely deflecting for sure. I'm always curious. I always enjoy the Jimmy Kimmel, but they do mean tweets. I don't know if there any stick out to you at all. Do you recall any mean tweets by chance?
No, I don't.
Do people get bonus points for creativity?
No, there's been some really funny ones. I have some really, really hilarious fans that I chit-chat back and forth with because it's a do. I don't pay attention to any of the negativity. I make it a point every day to game to be, as loving and positive as I can. And, that includes really selecting my thoughts carefully and what I choose to focus on, because the mind is such a powerful tool, so I try to use it to the best of my ability.
Well, I think that's a good way to go about it, because I think social media, for as pressing as it is, regardless of what platform you're using, is where if you're using it correctly and you're being positive results, and the reverse of that, obviously, if you're being negative and trash talking people, well, that's what you're going to get on. And I think that's pretty much you could apply that to just about anything in life. And you mentioned as far as you changed in the last several months, and are you cool with talking about your sobriety and how's that battle been for you and overcoming it and kind of seeing the light at the end of the tunnel?
Sure, I'd love to talk about it. In fact, that's what I think I do. And, I realized over the past months why I've gotten into it and what a great platform it is to help people. And, really changed for me, because struggling back and forth with getting sober and then relapsing many times, was getting into a program and doing step work and find a spiritual solution. I'm not a religious person. And I was very resistant to it for a very long time. I wanted to do it my way. And I realized when I finally gave in and realized that there's a higher power, you need to trust it, that, there's a better way to live. And the doors started opening, and I did the step work, and I realized why I'm drinking. And now I have these tools for life, which, if someone upsets me or I get hurt or I get angry or frustrated, I have tools to deal with it rather than waiting for an instant fix, like a quick fix that I put in my body and poison myself with. And it really is just a Band-Aid on a forest fire, and you don't get to the problem, you don't push it that way. So I'm really, really proud of myself, and can't even take full credit for it. It's something that I was wanting, and I feel like, when you pray for something, when you ask for something given, you just have to be receptive to it. And finally, I kind of got the hang of it, and it's been really a blessing, and I hope to carry that message to people who need it, because that can be sober as well.
Well, first off, congratulations. I know it's not an easy thing to handle and deal with, and I'm glad that you've have found a way to wrestle it in and make it your own and come out on the other side. So congratulations to you for that.
So wonderful on
now,
the other side.
in the present.
It really is worth it.
I agree. I've had my own battles in the past with those things, and it's really one of those things of just being able to open yourself up to new way of thinking. And when you're able to do that, it, for whatever reason, it just just walk into the light, for lack of a better term there.
I love that. Yeah. Come to the light, people. It's much nicer over here.
Yes, it's not a locomotion of destruction at the end of it. It really isn't. Now, getting back to Lise, mentions a little bit about your battle with sobriety and in the studio working with Linda Perry, who obviously you're pretty close with, I would assume at this point, and just telling you straight up, just setting you down and giving it to you straightforward, right in your face. Was that a turning point for you, one as a musician and as a person?
It was the turning point for me. I was trying so hard, and here's the thing: when you're an alcoholic and you don't have recovery and you don't have a spiritual solution, you're just a dry drunk. And I was trying my way for so long. And to have somebody who really loves me and cares about me be so blunt and honest and force me to look at myself in such an honest way, it was really important because, people are afraid to tell someone the truth to their face a lot of times. And she's not afraid. She doesn't operate via desperation. And sometimes it's tough love. She's very, very tough love. But between my management, her and Carrie Brown, Carrie's the simpler, more peaceful, so to speak. She's the tough love, like get your shit together, kid. And they got each other out very nicely. So it needed to happen. And when it did, it happened. This album, but it's not about me. It's for me. It's so that we band and as a collective can take the music up and hopefully heal as well.
Well, I feel fortunate that I've in its entirety, 28 Days in the Valley is coming out. Single is coming out on the 19th. I've titled Flawless, and it mentions it well about, this song being a kind of a vulnerable thing about, someone who kind of wronged you in life and you kind of coming out of a better person. And I really feel the album, at least for me anyway, was really an extension and an evolution of you musically. Was that kind of like the vibe? Like once you had the talk, you had that humbling experience, and you kind of stick your head writing these songs are they still have kind of a tough edge to them, but there's also a I don't know. It just feels like there's an accomplishment musically and personally, and even as a band, I dare say.
Yeah, definitely. We explored more dynamics and lightened things up a little bit and opened up to the universe. I guess there's a lot of feminine energy in the album, and we're not afraid to use it because it can be very powerful. It's not just someone trying to act tough, which we all do, and that serves its purpose and everything. But this was more about really opening up and letting the music guide us and telling a story, and really.
Well, you should be. It's a great album. There's a lot of great storytelling in the album as well, and the blues aspect, which I always enjoyed from you, is that where does that come from? That blues is just in your makeup as a person, or does that come from for brother or sister or something like that?
I had records growing up. I listened to a lot of Janis Joplin, a lot of Big Brother and Middle Income. Listened to a lot of my favorite of all time, Creedence Clearwater Revival. I say it's actually Nirvana, but they're up there because.
I love that spectrum, by the way. Creedence and Nirvana, I love it.
But in their own right, and so the blues, I just love that. The classic blues. I just bought it. We went to Psalm Records in Washington D.C. and they had us up there, let us look through all their vinyls, and I got a pretty solid Bessie Smith record. A lot of, one of the first, So I'm excited to go home on my turntable.
Hey, when you come to Nashville on the 20th, I don't know how many days you get a chance to be in town. I guess maybe a day and a half at most. But there's a record store really close to the Mercy Lounge called Grimey's. It's right above another venue called The Basement. So if you get a chance, head to Grimey's Classic Record Store. They have tons of vinyl in there. If you like shopping for vinyl, check out Grimey's if you get a chance when you're in town.
Okay, I will.
Now, the single Flawless is when that single comes out, is there a video attached to it, or is that something in the works?
Yeah, we're planning on shooting a video on break. with Kaya Ahrens, who did our album artwork, designed posters that we have out here, which are really cool. Like, he made them look like vintage tarot cards. It's very psychedelic, and it's like a silver foil. I've never seen it, and people are loving it. They're kind of hard to sign because it's like a paper almost, but they are so cool, and he's such a brilliant, artist. I'm excited to shoot this video with him. I just want to make our video has a really, really positive message that reaches far and wide.
Well, I'm sure, and I can feel the positive vibes from you, and I love it. There's a lot of things I want to talk to you. I don't want to, maximize too much of your time here. One thing I liked about this tour when you announced is that you're giving some local bands in the towns a chance to open up for you, and I'm curious about that selection process. Is it kind of take the submissions and listen to them and go, hey, we like band A or we like band B, or how is that selection process for picking these opening acts for you guys on the road?
We looked at quite a few before I left, so I was able to sit in the office and look through the submissions and watch people's videos, and I go with what makes me feel good and what feels the most genuine and real to me. So it doesn't matter what genre they're in. And we've actually just had a lot of females with bands, which is really cool. But again, that nominating factor just is something else. And while I'm busy out here on the road, my team at home, they'll pick what they think is the best, and we're usually always on the same page, and I'll through it and I'll okay it. But we had Emmy King, who she just turned 21, fly out from Germany to open a show in Boston. That was pretty incredible. She started playing. She's a drummer, guitar player, vocalist, songwriter. She was just so grateful to be there, and she's just a sweet, kind young lady. So it was amazing to see somebody go, to fly from another country. It was pretty, humbling. Really.
Yeah, no, that's very cool. And Emma, she's fantastic. I haven't had a chance to see her live, but I do. And what I've heard of her, on YouTube and other music platforms, really, really talented young artist, and that's awesome that you had her fly out. That's fantastic. Speaking of other fantastic lady, the wonderful, talented mutual friend of ours, also obviously lives in Nashville. I'm running her a lot as I love Liz. Fantastic. Her and Joe both are probably two of the most gracious people you can run into out at a concert club somewhere. But I don't know if she's on the 27th. If she is, have you guys communicate or work out maybe her coming in and doing a song on stage? Is that always
a possibility?
In flux, or
that's always a possibility for sure. I'm gonna have to reach out to her, and I try to link up with her whenever I can. Last time I came to Nashville, before I started working with Gwen on this album, was for some songwriting sessions. So we're still trying to find the right producer and the right sound. I was out in Nashville for a few days, and I got to go out on the boat on the lake with them, and it was just, I looked around and I was like, wow, I can move to Nashville. This is beautiful. So, she's like a sister to me. I'll never forget all the fun we had on tour. Hopefully we'll, if she's around, she'll come and we'll be able to hang out again.
Well, I'm sure she will. Like I said, she's always run into her all the time at different venues, and we have some mutual friends here. Hey, Nashville is a growing town. People are moving here from all over, so the more the merrier is what I say. Come to Nashville. What the hell, right? Well, Dorothy, chatting with you. Is there anything you would like to say in closing that maybe we didn't get a chance to touch on that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I just really hope people enjoy this album, and just remember to stay positive and know that they're powerful and that they create what life they want. They don't have to buy into noise out there in the media. And just be true to yourself. And thank you so much for the interview. I really appreciate it.
I appreciate the time, and I'll let you run. But are you playing any of the new songs right now? The album doesn't come out till March. Are you kind of testing a few songs here and there on the live performances?
Tour, most of the songs are off the album. We're doing mostly new songs, and then we are sprinkling some fan favorites in between there. So It's a good balance.
Now, do you have a favorite off the album right now that you can talk about, or no?
Man, they're just I love.
I would say that's a hard pick, but
it's really hard. I don't have a favorite. One of the most powerful songs I think is "Freedom." That's why we named the tour the Freedom Tour. It's just a message you have to hear, and I'm proud of the whole thing. One week it's another song, and it's hard because it's like your children. You can't.
Right.
Have a favorite child.
Well, I mean, you can, but shouldn't. But no, I Exactly. Yeah. Well, again, I know it's probably hard. A lot of any change too. You may have find out. Right now you have 2 or 3 different songs, and then 3 months from now you'll be like, oh, you know what? I really love song 4, 5, and 6 off the album. One of the songs I love, if it's okay if I talk about it, is "Pretty When You're High" tune. And I'm not. When I used to get high, I'm not pretty at all. So I'm like, I don't know I never looked that pretty high. I always was confused when I was high. I'm like looking around like Vincent Vega in Pulp Fiction, walking on for the doorknob or the light switch. But.
A couple of boys that are pretty when they're high. One in particular.
Fantastic.
It's about feeling good. So. It doesn't even necessarily be high on a drug. It could be high on.
Yeah. No. I just when I first heard it, I just I took sense as opposed to reading too deep into it. And then when I listen to it again, I'll get more deeper into it. The first time I just kind of take it literal, and then that's just kind of how I process things. But I could talk to you forever, and I'll let you go. And again, thank you for the time. Looking forward to catching Nashville on the 27th at the Mercy Lounge. Really looking forward to catching and having some fantastic footage of you doing your thing.
I want to see you there.
All right, Dorothy, take care.